Welcome to Market Mashup, our overview of financial markets and what we have in store in this upcoming month that might impact your stocks and bonds. I'm Scott Nasca, President of Generation Capital Management. Another strong month in February as all three major indices were higher. Dow Jones was up 2.2%, the S&P 500 was up 5.2%, and Nasdaq was up 5.3%. So once again, the higher tech, higher growth investments tended to be the stronger players in the markets. We've been seeing it for the first 2 months of 2024 and all of really 2023 as well. Looking at the bond numbers, we have the 2-year at 4.65%, 10-year at 4.25%. So we have, roughly about a 40 basis point inversion. That's always been a common thing that we've been talking about for about the past almost 18 months now, where the shorter end yields higher than the longer end. What's called an inverted yield curve. It usually does lead to economic slowdowns and potentially recessions. So we still want to pay attention to this, as the curve is still showing some signs of stress, with the longer end yielding lower than the shorter end. In terms of some commodity numbers, we have crude at 78.26, closed at the end of February, and in gold it was 20.83. Both metals and oil, so both commodities, were higher for the month. Still seeing some stronger numbers going forward with that. On the data front right now, we had a little hotter inflation number that came out in February, both in the consumer side and the producer side. That did offset some stronger numbers in the GDP, as well as wage earnings and employment numbers. So cross currents, you're seeing some stronger sides on the consumer and the businesses, but it's also coming through in terms of pricing pressures that are impacting everyday purchases that general population are succumbing to every month. We want to pay attention to that. Purchasing power is always important. Inflation fears really gets into the pockets of the consumers. And you want to see if their spending habits change at all as this continues to carry forward. In terms of other information out there, just pay attention in March. We've got Fed Reserve policy meetings coming up, unemployment numbers coming up again at the end of this week, which will continue to lead and show if the business is continuing to be strong, if there's continuing growth in wages for the workers. That's always an important number, just so that they can keep up with inflation. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our website, www.gencapmgmt.com. Our team's ready to answer any questions that you might have. Give your portfolios a second opinion. Just make sure their allocations are lined up with your goals and objectives and your risk tolerances. We also are ready to answer any questions you might have in terms of any financial planning information. Take a look at John's top tip sites. There's always some good information there that might spearhead you for some things that you need to do. But regardless, we're available to answer any questions that you might have. I'm Scott Nasca, President of Generation Capital Management, and this is Market Mashup. Have a great week, everyone.